Sunday was supposed to be a day filled with love for some people, right? Well, we wake up on Monday and realize it wasn't no love at all, honey, because the Simmons got into it. They got into some things, and I was definitely here for it. So, what it appears happened, and let me see. Is it on this one? Let me see. Okay, if it's not on this one, I'll just tell y'all. Okay, so Mingly, the daughter to Russell and Kimora, she made a post of her mommy and her. I believe they were on like a runway or something where she was pretty much telling her mother Happy Father's Day, right? Well, I guess when Russell saw that, he didn't really like it. So he had some choice words where he was saying something like, stop telling father something. He made some post or whatever where he was pretty much coming for Kimora and made it seem like she was trying to keep him away from the kids or something, right? Well, with his little antics, Kimora decided she was going to come out and, blast him. Now, I am going to play it. It's not going to be all of it. Of course, it's going to be a clip. So we'll get into what Kimora had to say. And then we'll also get into a snippet of what the daughter Aoki Lee had to say, the baby girl, because she had a lot to say, and she dropped receipts on her daddy, calling out him and his behavior.
Never get into this. I usually let people go and rant and rave. It's funny though how this particular person in question, because I could go in on a few of them one by one, but it's funny how this particular person, if you again go look back, you'll see on their page that they post all these pictures like we're together, like we're friends. They've even posted pictures and then said like, I just got off the phone with my kids, they sent me this great picture. None of that's true. I like receipts. So of course I have text messages. I have messages from all my kids. You can go and see. I think the bottom line, like probably the breaking point for all of this was over the past many months when their dad just sort of cut them off. He was contributing a little bit of cash to their like monthly, college spending, not much, a couple $100 probably, maybe $500, maybe, and I never get into this. I usually let people go and rant and rave. It's funny though how this particular person in question, because I could go in on a few of them one by one, but it's fun. And so one day he just kind of cut the kids off. There was no more money coming in, no more like allowance, quote unquote allowance. I think he probably did that just to double up the expenses on me, which is no problem. I stepped up, I did it. But when he did this, it was around just before finals and graduation. It was some months ago, just before finals and graduation. And he did it without telling the kids or talking to the kids or anything. He did it, it's funny, after he did an interview with, I heard some clips from an interview with this young man. I don't know, but I see him a lot. I think his name is Academic or DJ Academic. Oh, happy Juneteenth, you guys. We're doing all this on Juneteenth. Come on, let it go. Let it out. So I saw in that clip, that was some months ago too. You can go and reference it and find it, where he told this guy, he was on and on about this guy. And I think it was about old school hip hop heads and how, and so one day he just kind of cut the kids off. You should honor them, which I believe you should. But he was saying to the guy, like, I'm so rich. I got this and I got that. And I'm this and that. None of that could be further from the truth. He has turned around. And then again, I have records and evidence of this where he's told the kids in writing, we have it, text messages, I'm broke, I this, I that, I can't, go get it from your mom. Now, meanwhile, I have been financially carrying this person probably for the last at least 10 years, myself and my ex-husband. Again, this is all proven with receipts. So if whatever, somebody doesn't like what I'm saying, we could talk about it. We can come, we can open up our receipts. I love it. I love receipts. But I've taken care of this person to the tune of many, many, many millions of dollars to help with their bills, their overhead, their companies that they run into the ground, their unsuccessful bids, all of their stuff. I don't necessarily speak for my kids, but I think I could take probably a good shot at it. They're sleeping right now because you should honor them, which I believe you should. Not even 8:30 in the morning. But my two oldest girls, they're young women. They're young women of the world. I think that was very tough for them, that their dad like kind of cut them off and cut off conversation and cut off helping them. And he's even said things to them like, why did you go to college? You shouldn't have gone to college. You wasted that money. You could have saved it. While I'm up here trying to hustle the kids over the finish line. Not even 8:30 in the morning. But my two oldest girls, they're young women. They're young women of the world. I think that was very tough for them, that their dad like kind of cut them off and cut off conversation and cut off helping them. And he's even said things to them like, why did you go to college? You shouldn't have gone. I didn't just start to see my kids. We didn't just go through a divorce. We went through this divorce, I don't know, 20 years ago, 20 some odd years ago. So this is not a situation, again, you can get receipts, you can go see where they say like, oh, kids been brainwashed, but we've been fine up until these past several years. So, you know, what happened? All of a sudden now the kids are brainwashed. All of a sudden now these young women who are grown women are babies. You know, they have their own relationship with you. You have your own not existent relationship with them. I'm just asking that you please leave us alone. You know, I've tried to go to lawyers and get help. I've tried to show all the crazy texts I've had to block. Like, you do crazy shit, like send flowers to yourself and take a picture and post it on the gram and tell everybody I sent you flowers. Again, I have receipts of all of this. I have receipts from your office saying that you sent flowers to yourself. I didn't just start to see my kids. We didn't just go.
All right, so y'all heard some of what this woman had to say, okay? Her daughter even came down and got in the comments of that live, and you know, she also was kind of blasting him, but she also did her own video. This was the thing that he posted: stop telling fathers they should have fought harder to see their children, and start asking mothers why he had to fight at all. And I know you're not talking when you done fled, left your kids, went to a whole nother country due to SA allegations and stuff. So that right there is just a whole mess within itself. But it was something that she said.
Didn't just start to see my kids. We didn't just go through a divorce. We went through this divorce, I don't know.
Talk about. Oh, I know what it was. So she said that he sent flowers to himself, and then he sits up there and act like she sent it. And that is something that he does, because I did notice the video on his page where he was trying to make it seem as though after his daughter graduated college, she was running towards him, but she wasn't. She was running towards somebody else, but it was put on her story. And how did he even get it off her story if he put a whole collage together on his page and made it seem like she was running towards him? But it's weird. Like, how did you even get it if she didn't got you blocked? I guess you got a whole different page. But let's get into real quick what Aoki had to say about her dad.
He said to her at the middle of the night to like take her some papers to like sign away her inheritance or whatever. And then she was like, should I be signing this? And I was like, what? He like sends people to threaten her. And you know Ming is a calm person. No, please stop with the bullshit about I hope you find peace and privacy, and this is venting. I have been dealing with this my whole life. This is not new. It's not new drama. I already live in the drama, so now I'm just sharing. This is not, there's no therapy you can go to with someone who weaponizes the fact that you don't want to go public, right? Because when he posts something and then I don't respond, because I'm like, I don't want to have drama. And so he's been weaponizing that we don't want to have drama. I'm not like, I care about my family. I don't like to have this out there, but he uses that against you. Well, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to say something. So now I'm saying something. And if you're going to say one more thing about like, you should be in private in therapy, get off, please. Because I'm telling you, he uses that against me and I'm not going to have it. And my sister and my mother, and I'm not going to have it. And he's going to spin the whole narrative about, oh, your mom turned you against me. I am very independent-minded. You can ask my mom. She has an issue with me every day since I was 4. I want to cut my hair. I want to move out. I want to do this. And she's like, we negotiate all the time. I'm not the type to like, whatever you say, mommy. I'm like kind of an independent individual in that way. She would know. She raised me. It was a lot of work. So he's going to say, she's not with me. I'm in New York. Like I said, staying with a friend because he will not even give me $100 for rent, which is fine. I'm saving. But like all that money you're crying, he doesn't give me $1. Not that you need it, you know. People work. People are 18, 20. They don't have parental support. I don't have support me.
So that's pretty much what all she said. She pretty much aired out her daddy and stuff. And he also was in her live talking about how much he loves her and everything. Oh, I love you. I love you. And then he went on after this to make a post on his social media about how much he loved his girls and how proud of his girls and all of this stuff he is. Yeah, it is giving a weirdo. And what's even more weird for me is people that are team him. If your child on this internet crying, no snotty and everything, I believe everything that little girl is saying, and her story aligns with what her mama is saying. So I definitely question y'all that want to sit up there and make it seem as though the mama is a liar or the daughter is a liar and people out here playing victim or whatever the case is. Did it ever occur to you that they likely are a victim? Not that they're trying to play one, but they are. This, I mean, like, this the same man that was accused of SA charges, and it's giving it must be true so much to the point that he decided to flee the country. Like, get
I
y'all
was
shit
thinking
together.
the same
Like, are
thing.
y'all okay?
You remember just a few months ago, people was mad. Was it Taraji who took a picture with him out of the country?
Oh, I'm not sure.
We talked about it on the show. I can't remember, but some celebrity took a picture with him, and everybody was like, "You can't be posting a picture with him. He just, is fleeing the country because yada yada yada." And I didn't really think much about it then, but now that all this is coming out from his daughters, I mean, it doesn't have to do with sexual assault, but just, kind of putting a light on his character. In the video that Aoki posted of him yelling at her, you couldn't hear the audio, but you could see him yelling in the camera, and he looked
Absolutely
evil. Like, he looked like he was not himself. She even mentioned that they considered if he had dementia or something, because she said that he talks to him like he don't really know who they are sometimes.
wow.
But yeah, I'm all for airing that shit out and protecting your peace. So I hope they get what they need to, but I think they still kind of feel bad for him in a way. The daughters feel bad for Russell.
I think it's that they feel bad, and also they've been conditioned to the thoughts of, but that's still your dad type of energy. I feel like that's constantly been something that's been ingrained as well.
I mean, and the other thing that's odd to me is that Kimora and her ex-husband is funding his lifestyle. For what? Your kids are grown.
Yeah, that
Honestly,
is crazy.
Why do you feel entitled?
to me, it feels as if
Or indebted, I'm sorry.
I think that Kimora has always felt the need to protect him because he was her abuser as well.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna ignore the fact that Kimora was a teenager. That was another thing that
Yeah.
she talked about, was that she was like before junior year of high school dating Russell, and Russell was in his 30s. So yeah, I think she probably has been groomed her entire life to protect him, especially once she had children for him. And that last husband, to me, like, they weren't even really married. He faked his divorce papers with his first wife, or the previous wife, so he could marry Kimora. They were all in business together, but I do think that Russell wasn't managing his business correctly, and I think that she had to come to his defense a lot. I do think there's some truth to her taking money from him, but I also feel like she's been taking care of you, so probably anything she took from you was owed to her anyway. I also feel like she's protected him when people called him a predator. So, for me, I have never really been a fan of Kimora because of those things. And I just think that now that he is out of control because he's old, he's 65 now. So what happens is, when men, I think, are narcissists and messed up like this, they're really good at hiding it when they're young. But once they start to get old, it starts to become harder to conceal your true feelings and your true personality. So when you get upset, you let it rip. You know what I'm saying? You just let it happen however it's going to happen. But I feel like he's always been this person. I don't think it's dementia and all that shit that they act like it is. That might be the setup for them to get away with something. I don't know. But I feel like Russell has had dirty business dealings for a while now. Kimora's been hooked up with it, but the abuse is still the abuse.
Mm.
So that's girl.
And there's that. So I'm glad that, the daughter had the heart to air him the hell out, because a lot of people don't. Okay. If the kid is coming to, I mean, hell, I
Yeah, I'm
believed
tired of y'all.
Romeo when he came out and he was over there airing out his daddy. I'm like, oh, you better tell the truth, because you can only keep that facade
Right.
up but for so long.
for so long. Like, I don't know why people think you're supposed to be protecting people from the truth for fucking ever. Go to hell. If you want to protect your weird ass parents forever, that's your prerogative. But to me,
Right.
it's weird as hell to be sitting on that girl live telling her not to talk about her own damn daddy like you know him or something.
Oh, matter of fact, I'm so glad that you said that. I do have some audio here. Give me a second.
We'll be like, okay, we tried it, because I know Romeo tried to talk to Master P a lot of times. He did, and then it was just like, since you like everything to be public and you like the only thing that you really want to protect is your reputation and how you look. All right, I'm gonna go here, and because I feel like even Romeo was still respectful. Like he wasn't disrespectful to his dad. He just like, yo, look. You acting like it ain't what it is, and this is it, man, and I'm tired of this. I feel like Aoki and Kimora is just like destroy. Like, yo, that's still your father. And even how Kimora even went in talking about how she married him when she was 16. I probably was too young to do this, and he was 33, and that's true. You was too young, but you gonna bring that up right now? Every story got three sides. I feel like we don't know what he said, and now social media users, they weren't buying it either, so they accused Russell Simmons for they believe everything that her mom and her are saying. Not saying that they shouldn't, but they should see what he got, and that's the thing I'm saying. They should wait to see what he got to say. I just think it shouldn't even be online. Probably like, okay, we tried it, because I know.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, that was just hilarious, giving her viewpoints of how she believes that it's three sides to every story, and felt like she gave too much information. Why should she not expose a man that was dating her when she was 16? Why should she not?
me,
And then now he's facing certain type of allegations. Are you stupid?
To me, it's the comparing it to Romeo and acting like what Romeo did was so much more respectful. That girl was crying, and her father was texting and screaming and going off on her. I don't think that P was doing that. I think P was handling his shit how he normally do. He act indifferent and talk slow. He not really doing all of this screaming and hollering like that on your phone in order for you to respond to it. He's not as unhinged as Russell. So to even make that comparison was like, girl, shut the fuck up. It's given pick me. It's given male identified. It's given I can't wait to protect a man, but a man ain't never protected me vibes.
And it's also giving her talking about it's three sides to every story. They should wait to see what he got to say. Baby, he ain't got shit to say. What he has to say is an apology. The fact that he's saying I'm so sorry is an admission to the fact that they are telling the truth about his ass. So what part did you miss?
And the story he posted, girl, your kids is grown. What the fuck you mean what the mama did to make it hard? They're grown. Their mom is not stopping them from talking to you. It's how you treat them that's stopping them from talking to you. It's no accountability.
Yeah, that's delusional, and it takes an insane amount of reach when you see the majority of grown people agree on the topic, and you still find a way to try to come up with excuses for somebody who is clearly doing something wrong.
Yikes. Well, we hate to hear it. Anything
Olympic level of
Simmons?
reach.